Yes, level up, level up, level up, level up, level up, level up, level up. Good afternoon. Welcome to Thrive in Abundance Talk. And this afternoon, we have our Woman Thrive series. And of course, we have the vivacious Miss Nokuthula Luthuli Kamshibe Magwaza.
Wow.
Bayazini abantu kwesilentekazi kaMagwaza. Igama lami nguzodwa Msimangi Kansibande. Ngiyakwamukela on our talk series this afternoon. Of course, Woman Thrive is when we celebrate women that are making it in different sectors. And of course, the idea is just to inspire everyone who is our follower. Ake ngikubingelele ke ntokazi kaMadlanduna.
Thank you so much, Sizodwa, for having me on your program. I totally love it. And I'm very, very fascinated, very passionate with women entrepreneurship. I refer to myself as a woman advocate. And I run organization as well as my own businesses to help women thrive and level up. Thank you so much for indulging me with Level Up song. I know I was just getting you to move faster than usual.
Uyangazi mina, I will be like,
I know.
Magwaza, moyo ngcwele, ezami lezo.
On that flow, like Jehovah, we praise you.
Okay, ake ngikwethule kahle ke nkosikazi. Awusayena phela nkosazana. Knox is a serial entrepreneur, a seasoned marketing maven who is passionate about developing and nurturing consumer and personal brands for growth, as you were just saying. And of course, she's the mother of two, currently where she is, essentially taking care of that business. Mama. And of course, she's an avid runner who loves traveling. Sometimes he 5 kilometers into where he goes. And of course, Nox is a founder and managing director of an award-winning marketing and advertising agency, Bloom Marketing, and digital agency, Bloom Infinite. And you can see, she's blooming, ever blooming, ever blooming. And of course, she's a serial entrepreneur. There's also a makeup mall boutique in the mix. And I think recently we've been appreciating seeing you and what you're doing for the other women under your coaching business, which is Bloom Inside Out. It says it's a woman-centric leadership development and capacity building company for business and personal growth. And of course, you're a staunch woman advocate. That makes it two of us there. Well-recognized business leader. That's just you, who has recently launched an ebook as well titled Born to Bloom. And this is to inspire hope and resilience during unprecedented times. You have to marvel at people who are able to do such things at a time where I think a lot of people are just like wondering, what are we gonna do? Where do we start? So it's just also a testament of who you are. And of course, you are the Women Entrepreneurship Day organization. We do ambassador for South Africa. And sorry, something is disturbing me here. All right. And you have been a deputy chairperson of the Women Business Forum for the Durban Chamber of Commerce. Of course, we love our chamber in KZN. And you have been a winner of the Business Women Association Award and the Regional Business Achiever. And of course, Cosmopolitan Magazine, wow, fun and fearless female. And Umyezane Black Economic Achievement Award. I think I remember that one. And you're definitely one of the best run managed businesses in KwaZulu-Natal. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is Nokuthula Luthuli, known as Unox. Nox, let's start from the beginning. I was so amused to learn what you went to one of the schools, Kwamashu. That's where you began your education. I was like, okay, I wouldn't have
Yep.
thought. All right. So
Magwaza girl. So
yes,
ngithi mangabe sebengisukela ngithi ungakhohlwa ukuthi ngwazalwa kwaMashu.
okay, ufuna ukuthini ngami?
Ngiyakwazi ukuthi umuntu esengibhedela nami ngimtshela ukuthi hayi bo.
La ubheke kahle kunesinqawunqawu la. All right, okay. Just take us through the Knox from the beginning, where you were born and where you started your education, just briefly.
Yeah. So thank you so much once again, Zodo. I really appreciate this. And like you said, it is a special place where you get to acknowledge other women's strides in business and with the hope of inspiring other women. And really what we do, we are serving. Whether we're serving our clients, we're serving also the womanhood globally and across South Africa to ensure that we level up, to ensure that we strive towards gender equality in everything that we do. I was born humble beginnings, Kwamashu. I was born in King Edward actually, and then I moved to Newcastle when we were like 5, 6. Just literally, I shared a first year with your relative. Ubefu edugemini kwamashi kwa E, and then moved to Newcastle, and that's where I completed my matric there at St. Louis Bertrand's High School. So ngaso sizweni aba connectile aba by the audience yakho osizweni Newcastle, and then I, like every other young girl, really was inspired to dream bigger, because I landed a Forbes magazine from my brother. My brother was a staunch, like, he still is, reader. He reads a lot, and he would do those library exchanges where you exchange books, and then he'll bring magazines, financial mail, and all of those things. And then I landed my first Forbes magazine, Angina 16. When I read that Forbes magazine, I was literally like, oh my gosh, there's women who own global companies and logistics companies across Africa, across Europe. And I like their worth in billions. And I literally, like, the fire to dream bigger was ignited then. And I literally said to myself, I'm going to be one of these women, and I want to run my own business. I want to own my own business. I didn't know much about business at that time. No one in my family was in business. I say that, but then I remember that my mom has always been entrepreneurial, but because I didn't know anything about entrepreneurship, I didn't think that she was a role model until much later. The fact that she would so I'm a banji as a weseli for all the women osizweni emadadeni nje in Newcastle. She was known, umama Thuli, and the quality, like literally, like honestly, I just, to this day, some of when I buy stuff from local designers, I'll start keeping Janokoti. My mom will sit there meticulously making sure there's no thread or lengayo. Every stitch is in place, and really like a master. And she learned from my grandmother, didn't go to a college, self-taught, amaketini, tailoring people's pants. If you bought pants that were bigger or they're long and you need them shortened, literally she just ran. She was a local tailor basically. And I just saw her like using her hands and making a living. And like anyanisi ekhaya, we would not buy anyanisi, spinach, green beans, umbila, ejala, and we will even share with the locals, sometimes even sell the onions. And I always say that she actually was my first role model, and I didn't realize because I didn't know anything about business. Fast forward to that Forbes magazine, angathatha nje like one choir ngabhala like ukuthi okay, these are the businesses I'm going to own. I didn't even know how. And so to this day, I attribute success to, don't be shy to write your dreams down. Do not be too concerned about how it's going to happen, because God knows, and He's been in your future, and He will order your steps. With every step you take, He will order the second one. And for me, I learned from exactly that time to say, just say, I'm going to own a wine estate. Just say, I'm going to run a business. Put it down. Put it down. And that for me is the power of a vision. Because I wrote it down and I said, I'm going to own a business. I didn't know how. I didn't know how you register a business. I didn't know what it takes to sustain a business. And I've been running a business for 17 years. And so that's how it all started. And then immediately that year, we were visited by Unilever and HR, and they were doing what you call career advice and career direction. And they shared all the Unilever brands, and I was so fascinated because I'm like, "Sayidlale Rama, siyawashanga le Steph ne Omo." So ngibabuze. So I lift a hand, but I'm shy. I'm like, "So how do I get to work for this company that you're saying is a global company called Unilever?" And they go, you just need to have a degree, whether in honors, and you can obviously get into any department, whether it's HR, in production, in marketing, in sales. And then I went home that day and had probably the most life-changing conversation. I'd never had a conversation with my mom or dad about what happens after matric. I didn't know, because I didn't know anybody who went further than matric except my brother, who went to Hammanskraal for SAPS police training. To this day, he's like one of the top detectives in Joburg. And that's all I knew about what happens post-matric. Obviously, my aunt was teaching, and so there was other teaching, nursing. If you obviously are dreaming a little bit higher, like a doctor or maybe an attorney. So I go home and I say, we had a visitation from Unilever, and I want to go to university. My mom's like, Kwenziwani? Kwenziwani laugh. So I go, I want to study further. And she goes, okay, so kufuneka imali. Kufuneka imali. That's how he konje. Like literally fast forward to where I'm sitting right today. I'm sitting in Stellenbosch, and I've just dropped off my daughter, and we started all the registrations last year, but we were talking about university in grade 10. No. This is like 2 years before you even finish high school. I'd never had that conversation at home. So that was life-changing for me. That year, it was first the Forbes magazine, and then it was Unilever visitation. And that fire was ignited. I said, I'm going to be a graduate, and I'm going to work for this corporate company. So my mom's like, okay, when's the gala? And so then I go visit my aunt, who's a teacher, and I go, so then she goes, oh, well, your results need to be good. I go, great. So I'm set there. I'm always in the top 3 students at high school, and so I'm good there.
Yeah.
What I didn't know is that universities, you apply the year before. So Mina, I showed up at UKZN the year of the
hello, I am. Good results.
Good results. I'm like, hello, my name is Tato. No, I'm joking. Hello, my name is Knox. And these are my results from matric. But like, obviously, I'm in the extras because private education kids have already been in the system. Like my daughter has been in the system at Stellenbosch since last year. She had a student number before she wrote her matric. And I'm thinking, wow, what a difference. My parents didn't take me to university. I had to fly with her all the way to Cape Town. I left home. I've just lost connection. I'm trying to see why.
We can hear you. We can hear you.
Okay, great. So I'm just seeing I'm no longer in the picture here. I left home with 200 rands taxi fare to go to UKZN, and then I went to show them my results. Then I got my I'm still grateful to this day that I got a 60% bursary and a 40% loan. Traveled back home to pack my one bag with iduve. I fit iduve ikampat, back to varsity. And that's exactly where I started.
Lesi story sakho lapho abanye bethu siqale kuyihamba i-UKZN mhlambe ka-grade asale ka-grade 8 because already ngama-weekends sesiyofunda i-maths ne-science siyofunda isobhuti base-varsity.
Thank you. So that was eye-opening at every level, but I'm literally, like I was telling you, I'm feeling a bit emotional that I'm leaving my daughter at varsity, but my parents didn't even take me with me. I had to find everything with my and because of that, where do I go to do this? Where do I go to student help or student union? So I carried on. I got into BSc microbiology biochemistry because initially I thought I'll do medicine. In my 3rd year of the microbiology and biochemistry, I then had a second encounter with Unilever. They're on campus. And on campus, I didn't know they were there. I didn't see a poster, but because Yazi, Magna Q, if black people are queuing, in fact, it was everybody. It was white, black, Indian, everybody. If everybody is queuing, there's other free food. There's a grant lately. There's just something like free access somewhere.
Yes.
Nokuthula is very curious. Nokuthula wants to know what's going on. And I go, so what's going on? I see, because I'm connected on Instagram. People are laughing at me on Instagram as well. They're like, and this is like that. I tell these stories because I want to show everyone that you may come from nothing. You may come from humble beginnings, where my dad worked a factory in Jacobs in Durban. My mom, Taylor in Newcastle, and that's all we had. We didn't leave with mhlambe ubantu bank account kunemali akazokushoda ngemali, right? My daughter. Lapho I just ate what the university was serving. If you didn't like it, that's your problem. I took my first job at Steers in one of the suburbs in Maritzburg, just so that I can have extra money to buy maybe a t-shirt, eat out, like feel like Nami I belong, So where you come from doesn't determine your success. It doesn't limit.
Absolutely.
Okay, it doesn't.
Fast forward, you are at Unilever. You are now working at Unilever.
Listen, literally, give me line, and literally ulayini, I get interviewed, and they say we're here looking for the graduates for a program called the Trainee Management Program at Unilever. Cut a long story short, I get into Unilever. I get a letter before I sit for my final exam, and I am now telling my parents I'm not going to med school. I've got a job and I'm happy. They literally went with the flow, and they said, whatever it is, my daughter, go for it. And then I went and did obviously a laboratory, because microbiology takes you to the laboratory. And I then do quality control. I'm tasting margarine, oil, and all sorts of things. And then that was supposed to be two years before you get into management. In the end of the first year, then I asked the laboratory manager, exactly when am I going to get promoted? Is there a plan? How long have you been in your position? This Italian man looks at me and he laughs. He goes, I've been a lab manager for 15 years. And I go, that's not the contract you signed. I'm getting promoted in less than 2 years. And he goes, how is that going to happen? I go, you either get fired or you resign, or you get sick and you go on a long-term, you're not well, and then maybe I become like an acting manager. He literally just like his face went so white. Like he called the head office of Unilever and he said, I've got a graduate that I really think that is going to be a problem. The supervisor has been a supervisor for 10 years. I've been a manager for 15 years, and she's very adamant she wants to be a manager. The next Monday, I had an interview with the national sales. Long story short, I then got a job as a trade marketing assistant. And then I got promoted into account manager in less than 2 years. I got my own graduate trainee, Gift from Yarira, who also runs, I think, one of the Nestle factories. And so that's how it went. Into regional sales management again. I got promoted. And then I'm 22, and all my sales teams are ranging between 30, 35, 40 years old. I realized again, to be a leader, you don't have to be older than any of the people you're leading.
Yes, I think that's very important.
Focus, know what the goals are, know what you're there to do, and make sure that the team understand it takes the collective to make the goal and the dream move forward.
So you did very well at Unilever. I mean, like everything was fast-paced, as you would have liked it to be. And, as typically any ambitious young person would have a plan. I want to be doing this for 2 years, for 3 years, and in 5 years, clearly I should be a brand manager or something like that. But then there comes Noxa and it's like, okay, it's been good, but I think I want to leave now. Who does that?
I know.
All right. And then you decide, you know what? I've had enough
ambition.
Of this. Now,
really, it's all about ambition, and it's always about thinking about the next level. And when I progressed from sales into marketing, and then marketing, I was a brand manager for Lipton Ice Tea first. In fact, I was like a channel manager there. And then so trade marketing into then marketing. Then I got all the in-house training. And also something I want to highlight. If you want to obviously change careers, your degree doesn't confine you into that speciality of your degree.
Oh
You
yeah.
can get internal experience and obviously in-house training,
Yes.
hands-on training as well, to make sure that you get to follow your dream and your heart desire.
Yeah,
So then
absolutely.
a marketing became a big thing for me. From Lipton Iced Tea, it was Raja when we bought Robertson's, and eventually just moving on into the Knorr group of brands. And at
Mm-hmm.
that time, I then realized, in fact, I remembered. This
Mm.
is another thing I like to highlight. When you have a vision written down, your vision will pull you even when you've forgotten. I had
Mm.
forgotten that I wrote down I want to run a business until I felt the frustration of this department or the agencies that are servicing the brands here are not transformed enough. And I don't feel they have a good understanding of the target market that happens to be me and my family, the black
Mm.
mass market of South Africa.
Yeah.
Then I presented it to the CEO and I said, I actually think I'm ready. I think I want to be on the other side of the line and offer Unilever the services that I think the European agencies are not able to offer. I
Mm.
also think you don't have black owned and female owned agencies to transform. So the
Mm-hmm.
whole 2002 period, so I started my business in 2002, 2003, and we are talking transformation.
Yeah.
But I took exact like advantage of that. And for anybody who's now thinking we've passed that, no, we haven't passed that, because
Oh.
the gender equality
Yeah.
mark continues to be so elusive that it keeps shifting. Now we're
Absolutely.
talking 100 years before we can actually achieve gender equality in the world. So you can still ride the women transformation wave. And it's not about just that. You've got to be good at what you do.
Of
You've got
course.
to be excellent, obviously, at what you
Yeah,
do.
you
You've
have
got to
to
want to
excel.
serve
Mm.
a particular space in the industry, and you
Yeah.
want to shift with others. So I don't want to bloom alone. I want to bloom with others as well. So
Yes.
that is, it remains very critical. I
Mm.
then resigned with an endorsement from a CEO that said, okay, you want to start a business, go for it.
Mm.
Within a year, I mean, within 2 months of actually resigning from Unilever, Unilever was my client.
Mm.
And then I quickly just grew from there because I kind of felt like the market needs you to prove yourself once. So
Mm.
Unilever was a good enough proof that I can do this.
Yeah.
And Tiger Brands opened doors. Coca-Cola opened doors. Vodacom opened doors.
Yes.
Perito Group made me be like a marketing agency for Pavilion for like, first it was a year, and then it was 3 years, then it was 7 years.
Wow.
I never looked back, and it's been 17 years of really running my Bloom marketing agency. Um,
Still
and I'm
blooming.
loving it. I'm still blooming.
But then you're also a serial entrepreneur because I mean you have formed other businesses in the process, you know.
Yeah.
So what like I mean why what happens? Why do you always feel like there's something else? Or what drives you? Is it still the vision? Do you go back to your
Mm,
vision? Did your vision say that I'd like to own 5 businesses, for instance? How has
no. So I love that question, Zoda, because it actually shows exactly what happens. When you want to be successful in business, it is often said that you got to solve problems. So I'm
ah,
very fascinated about problems. When I
yeah,
see a challenge and I see, and I'm like, okay, I can actually solve this problem,
yeah.
then I have to establish a business that actually attends to that problem. So
Ah,
the second business was obviously Makeup Mob. Running an agency means that you're doing TV, like commercials, print commercials, like newspaper, magazine, print. So all these shoots, I kept on thinking, what else can I? In fact, it was this for me. I just didn't want to pay out the money to anybody else. So I figured, let me just take all the back of house production and manage from makeup to the whole shoot production and everything, and the final look of how these, what we call now content management, content
yes,
production. I
yes.
wanted that whole stable to be my back of house.
Okay.
That's
All
how I
right.
established Makeup Mob. And
Okay.
obviously, as soon as you establish a makeup business, people think it's for you to look good, maybe going to a wedding. It was never really, I never set it up for occasions that
Mm.
are like individual
I
occasions.
get
It was
it.
meant to be, it's a film production, which to this day I'm very excited that
Mm.
KZN Film
Yeah.
commissioned us to do makeup for Tira's 13 series TV production. We also did
Yeah.
Anati and Mario's music video at the
Ah,
almost at the Valley of a Thousand Hills, and
okay.
we had a whole five days of this music video being shot,
Yeah.
and we were doing makeup for everybody in the music video. So
All
that
right.
was the. It still continues to be the vision for me. that I
Okay.
want to be part of every production behind the scenes to make
Yes.
sure that we make it look quality and very good.
Yes. Yes.
And then with every obviously award and acknowledgement in business, I started having quite a lot of ladies saying, "How did you do it? How did you start your business? How are you still in business? How do I grow my business?" And then I realized there's actually a coaching gap.
Mm.
You know that I've been serving from the time that I won the Business Women Association award.
Mm-hmm.
They had a condition that says if you've won an award, you've got to pay it forward and you
Yeah.
must come into the organization and serve.
Yes.
That's where I started serving women in business as a person in the Business Women Association, and then I
Mm-hmm.
moved from there to the chamber, and I was serving there. What I then realized between these two organizations, we always inspire women, but nobody holds women's hands to show them the process. I'm
Yeah.
very fascinated with the person. I think it comes from my analytical mind in the sciences, in the life sciences, in the BSc. I've always analyzed things.
Yeah.
I want to show people the process. It's almost like teach someone how to fish, don't give them the fish.
Oh.
Inspiration is giving you maybe a taste of how these prawns taste like.
Yeah.
Whereas Bloom Inside Out, when I established it, it was so that you learn how to cast your own nets, how to
Yeah.
catch your own fish, and how
Mm-hmm.
to process the fish and make sure that it's tinned fish, it's fresh fish, it's frozen fish, and all the other business areas. And
Yeah.
that's why I established Bloom Inside Out. And it,
Mm-hmm.
I must say, it is the fulfillment for me of my purpose. You know,
Yeah.
I truly now believe that I found my life work. I found what God wants me to do is to really help His gorgeous girls find their true potential,
Mm.
unlock it, and really serve the world with the best of who God made them to be. And that's
Yeah.
what Bloom Inside Out does. And it's grown over 4 years, probably
Yeah.
800 ladies in all the master classes that I host. I've coached
Yes.
more than 100 ladies in their businesses.
Amazing. Amazing.
So I'm loving it. And while I'm running my business in marketing and digital marketing.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
And how has been the feedback from the ladies? I mean, like, I can only imagine how
it
gratifying that is when
it
you
is.
know.
It's incredible. Zoto.
Yeah.
Honestly, I call it my life work because that's where
Mm.
I see God is praised through the work that I'm doing. Where
Yeah.
someone says, "I really didn't see how is this possible until you actually showed me the rope."
Yeah.
The compliments are all on my bloominsideout.co.za website. But it's
Yeah.
just amazing when someone says, "I came to Knox with just an idea," and sometimes they come without an idea. And as I interview you, as we discuss it, it becomes clear which direction
Mm.
you are ordered and where your steps are being
Oh
ordered
yes.
towards.
Oh
So even
yes.
if you're not clear what you want to do, I'm
Oh
always in
yes.
my coaching one to sit down and say, what has been your journey? What are your natural gifts? What are your talents? Which areas have you been have experience in? Maybe let's start where you have experience. You can teach someone as well. So when
Mm.
you know, like Maya Angelou says, when you've learned, teach someone else.
Yes.
When you know, share the information, and that's how we make this world a better place.
Absolutely. We want
Yeah,
to make this world a better
yeah,
place, especially
yeah.
for our gorgeous ladies, as you say. What is it that you know now that you didn't know 5 years ago?
That's a
Of
very
course,
good question. Oh my
of course,
gosh.
with the 2020 and the pandemic.
What I know,
Yes.
I used to think the world is massive and big. I used to think um, my area of influence just remains where I am. What I know now is that the world is a village and it's a very small village. What I know now is that nothing will limit you except yourself,
Mm-hmm.
um, and how far you dream and how far you think and believe. What I know now is that we don't have to do it in our own strength because
Mm-hmm.
God is our immense and incredible
Oh,
strength.
yeah.
What I
Yes.
know now is that if you think that success is all about yourself, you are lying to
Mm-hmm.
yourself. It is all about an extension of God's hands in this world. It is an
Absolutely.
extension of God's purposes for your life. In every business, it is what God wanted to do with what He gave you and where He exposed you to.
Yeah.
so that you can then be used by him to impact others
Yes.
positively.
Yes.
What
Yes.
I
Yes.
know now is that success is not my success, it's for all of us, and it's a legacy that you need to pass on to your
Yeah.
young ones, to other people around you, to your family members. What I know now is that I'm really, yeah, I'm made in God's image, and there's nothing that I cannot do.
Yes.
I
Of
love
course.
that. I love that. When I say he's great, I know that I am great. When he says he's limitless and nothing is impossible, I know that. But
That's
when you go to church as a child or young person, you just think it's just what the Bible says. You don't apply it. But I've applied it in my everyday living, in my business. I've applied it in everything that I do. And I know that there's no step without him. And
yeah.
even when I
Preach.
trip, even when I trip, listen, girl, I
Preach.
know this. I know this.
Not
Anxiety footing high.
so it's good that I see you doing the coaching stuff, but have you ever had a mentor or a coach or a sponsor as in your
Yeah.
professional journey as it were?
That's good. That's good because every leader has a mentor and a coach and somebody that guides them. My number one, obviously, God is my CEO.
Of course.
I've been always shy of calling myself a CEO because I always thought maybe I'm a COO. I'm an operational person, and he's the one who's got a vision, the CEO. So he guides my steps. So that's for me is one person who mentors, guides me. He's my guide. Number two, when I had an opportunity, I still go for enterprise development opportunities. So, and one thing that I've learned is that you never stop learning. Sifunda size
Of
if
course.
you're gonna say to yourself, "Oh, I know it all now. It's not for me to go and learn," you're gonna actually literally die down. You'll be irrelevant, and you will lose information of the time and the now.
Mhm.
So I did a Liberty Enterprise Development Program a couple of years ago, so 2 3 years ago, and now I'm a service provider at Liberty. And most
Mhm.
of these companies want you to do the enterprise development program for you to be a service provider.
Yeah.
And you've just got to sit there through all their programs and make sure that you absorb and refresh yourself in business.
Mm,
And
mm.
so I had a great opportunity of a CEO that is female. I was very clear to them. My coach, my mentor has to be a CEO who runs a global agency so that I can learn from her how to actually
Yes.
scale my business to be a global business. So Brown's agency based in Cape Town.
Yeah.
I've had an amazing and incredible coach there, and I'm loving that. She's also an agency leader and an agency coach. I then learned through everything. I learned through John Maxwell programs.
Mhm.
I'm listening every time to learn how to be a best leader, how to be a good leader in everything that I do. So um,
Yeah.
I remain a student while I master certain areas of my life. And
Of
that's
course.
something that I can share with everybody. Be a student and a master every day of your life.
The best leaders are still
Yeah,
learning. It's continuous learning and
absolutely.
continuous development. We are, of course, live on Facebook. Let me just see if we have any questions or comments for you.
Sure. And
Uh,
I'm gonna bid farewell on my side on
I have a
Instagram.
comment from Pindile Pro Zulu. Just love, love, love the hearts. Pro's are pro.
The
I
hustle.
call her Mama Gap. And of course,
Yeah,
Mrs. Kipa Gasa says growth and fulfillment found in the plan and purpose God has for us.
yeah.
God bless you, ladies. Ani bahle go. Awungangena nam. By the way, it's our day, Thursday. Oh, mama, baleli vangeli mabagijime bangakhathali on
Absolutely.
Thursday.
Absolutely.
Do
Um,
you have someone that you're mentoring currently besides the ladies that you're coaching? Do you have like a mentee or a protege?
so my daughter is actually currently my protege.
Okay.
I shared with you this that I'm very clear that I've seen other races. They ensure that the business remains in the family. It is
Yeah.
passed on from generation to generation.
Yes. Yeah.
So she's doing some digital work in my business, and I'm continuing to guiding her. And I see you do that with your daughter, Unana. So I do that with my daughter. Um,
Mhm.
the thing about mentorship is that it can take quite a lot of your time. It can take a lot actually of you. So I'm currently stretched, to be honest, because I serve also for the Women Entrepreneurship Day organization,
Yes.
founded in America, but it operates in 144 countries around the world. And
Mhm.
because of that, I'm able to then offer any free services, some mentorship and guidance through that platform. But
Okay.
directly as Bloom Marketing or Bloom Inside Out, no, I only coach through Bloom Inside Out. And then
Yes.
I run businesses at Bloom Marketing and Bloom Infinite
Mhm.
digital agency. And so the Women Entrepreneurship Day organization is where I'm able to then share and
Yes.
mentor, and maybe even allow to speak as pro bonos and guide other women, especially the young ones, as much as possible.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
If you're not
yeah.
doing this, Knox, what would you be doing?
Honestly, I love your questions. Do you
No,
know
but
when I
I
was
mean, if I wasn't doing what I'm doing, I would be singing somewhere.
I love that. I love that. I will be speaking. I'll be speaking. The thing is, I've made it a point that I continue to speak even in different organization in different places and spots.
Yeah.
Um, I'm very clear that speaking is my gift.
Mm.
If I wasn't doing this, I'll probably be running something either on radio or TV program where I am live pretty much every day, teaching, guiding, motivating, inspiring. I think I was given the gift of the gap, as the Belungu will call it.
Clearly. Of
Yeah,
course, we know that. All right. Okay. All right. But it's good because you're already doing that
yeah,
anyway. So it's still part of God's plan for your life, which is really, really
absolutely,
amazing.
absolutely.
Okay. Now tell us a little bit about the ebook
Ah,
commercial.
okay. So 5 minutes, a commercial. 5 minutes into it, I have a radio interview with Smile FM here in Cape Town at 6 o'clock. So I'm gonna try and wrap up.
Okay.
Um, so I last year, in fact, it's been a long time coming. I've got journals and journals of the book. In fact, a couple of books.
Yes.
I even spoke to Timothy Morris probably 3, 4 years ago, and he said to me, release the book and then have volume one, two, three, four, five, because I felt like I'm not done with my Bloom story.
Of
So the
course.
initial book that I've been writing for years is Life in Full Bloom, which
Yeah.
basically takes a series of my stages of growth and all the lessons that I learned. But
Mhm.
come last year, March, immediately without warning, everyone is in lockdown. I
Mm.
really felt immediately at that time that everybody is just going through this down moment where people are losing hope. People are thinking we're going to die the next day or next month. People are asking themselves, why am I even alive? What's the
Yeah.
purpose for me being here? Why was I even born? And then I penned down what you call a quick read. It's probably like 30 pages. It's small. It's an
Mm.
ebook, which because at that time we couldn't print. Um, and hopefully this year I'll expand it in a printable book.
Yeah.
So the book is really centered around Genesis 1, 27, 28,
Yeah.
that everybody's born to bloom. And so that verse says everybody's born to multiply because we were made in his image so that we may multiply.
Mm.
Just remove the word multiply and I put bloom. That there's
Mm.
no one who's born without a purpose, no one who's born without, God gave a reason for everyone to be here. And it's
Yes.
your number one goal is to find out what is that purpose. And your
Yeah.
number two is to live in that purpose and serve in that purpose every day. So Born to
Absolutely.
Bloom was a way of inspiring, igniting hope in the most difficult time of our lives where people were just thinking, I might not see a few more days after this.
Okay.
It talks through that find that inner power,
Mhm.
unlock that inner power,
Mhm.
find that truth and what God created you for,
Yeah.
discover your purposes and your gifts and polish them and really live every day in a fulfilling space of living your purpose. And then it shows you what I've used in my own life from meditation, prayer, your
Mhm.
affirmations, which are called biblical promises declared, so declarations of the Bible.
Yes.
Affirmations are really declaring the truth that cannot be shaken by the world.
Absolutely.
It's an amazing book, and if you are stuck and you don't know where to start, I always say make it your starting point. If you have something that you want to feel good, read the book. You want to inspire yourself, read the book.
Mhm.
You want to just get better every day. That's the book to go for. And I hope it keeps igniting everyone to sow the seeds of their dreams and their vision so that they can see the fruition and the fulfillment of those seeds into full bloom and
Mm,
see God being praised and worshiped for their lives and the purpose of their lives. Thanks so
mm.
much for making me
That's
mention the book today.
amazing. That's amazing. Of course, I was gonna make you mention about the book. So where do we get the book from?
It's on
To
bloominsideout.co.za, my
Bloom
website,
Inside Out. Okay.
bloominsideout.co.za, and the page is just say book or shop the book, and you'll click there. It's only 150 Rand and enjoy
Okay.
it.
All right. Okay. No, I have the book already. So, ladies and gentlemen, please go ahead to Bloom Inside Out and just click and pay and just get the book. And then you also have other stuff that you
Yeah.
produce, the marks, the candles. Yeah. Tell us
Yes.
more about that.
Yes.
Where do we get that?
So from the book and from what I do in Bloom Inside Out in inspiring women, what I realized is that I've always, we laugh these days. We see people when they're praying on social media, they'll put a candle, like a lead candle. And I mean, really, for me, candles have always been like about beautiful scent. And it's just a space where you light a candle and write your journal. And the
Mhm.
Bible says, write your vision down. And so the journaling is for me, every woman must have a journal, write your goals down, write your vision down. So I sell those candles, scented candles, and I sell journals and coffee mugs. They all are branded with positive affirmations. Most of them are coming from the book and they're coming from the biblical promises that it's the truth and it will actually manifest in your life. So it is a reminder for your office to have that candle on your desk or at home or journal that literally tells you that you have the power to be anything, to have
Yeah.
anything, and
All
to do anything that you want to do.
Absolutely, absolutely. You're parting short, not.
My parting shot is don't limit yourself, be limitless. My parting shot is that every one of us has a purpose. You were born to bloom. Find the purpose and live a life in full bloom. And you can follow me at Nox Bloom on Instagram, at Nox Bloom on Twitter, at Bloom Inside Out on Twitter and Instagram, at
Yes.
Bloom Marketing on Twitter and Instagram. And I'm on
All
LinkedIn if you want to. Facebook, I'm not so great these days. I've moved on.
It's okay. Of course, you have to move with the times. Ladies and gentlemen, there was Unox Ukamshibe Magwaza, the lady who's obviously in full bloom, as you can see. And of course, if you'd like to get all those, the book, and all the stuff, the merchandise that she has, it's available on their website.
Yeah.
Nox, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. We really appreciate the time, and what an absolute pleasure to have you with us this afternoon. And I would like to take this opportunity to wish you everything of the best.
Cool.
And yeah, I can see that you're still gonna go places because, like,
Cool.
why God?
He has a
The
bigger
more you
plan. He
do
has a
for
greater
others,
plan.
the more you do for others, the more he does for you. That's what I've seen. And it's like that's just what it is. Just stay in
Absolutely.
purpose and stay in his will, and then he
Yeah.
does the rest. All
Yeah.
right. Okay. Okay. Thank
Kabonga.
you so much. And take it easy there with your daughter. Yeah. It is what it is. And of
I'm
course, we also
trying.
like to wish her everything of the best. Knox, I'm sure we will have an opportunity to host you next time. I'm sure you would have done other bigger and better
Yeah.
things, but you continue to thrive, my sister. All the best. Much love.
Kabonga.
All
Cheers.
right, ladies and gentlemen, you'll catch us again on Saturday morning where we will have Apostle LV Masangu. We're talking about dreams and visions. All right. Yeah, we're going deeper into these things. So see you on Saturday. My name is Zoto Msimankansi Bande signing out this afternoon.